Solitaire by Alice Oseman. 1. I am aware, as I step into the common room, that the majority of people here are almost dead, including me. I've been reliably informed that post-Christmas blues are entirely normal and we should expect to feel somewhat numb after the happiest time of the year. But I don't feel so different now from how I felt on Christmas Eve, or on Christmas Day, or any other day since the Christmas holiday started. I'm back now, it's another year, and nothing is going to happen. I stand there, Becky and I look at each other. Tori, she says, you look a little bit like you want to kill yourself. She and the rest of our lot have sprawled themselves over a collection of revolving chairs around the common room computer desks. As it is the first day back, there has been a widespread hair and makeup effort across the entire sixth form, and I immediately feel inadequate. I deflate into a chair. I'll nod philosophically. It's funny because it's true. She looks at me some more, but I don't really look, and we laugh at something that wasn't funny. Becky then realizes that I'm in no mood to do anything, so she moves away. I lean into my arms and fall half asleep. My name is Victoria Spring. I think you should know that I make up a lot of stuff in my head and then get sad about it. I like to sleep, and I like to blog. I'm going to die someday. Rebecca Allen is probably my only friend at the moment. She is probably my best friend. I am as yet unsure whether these two facts are related in any case. In any case, Becky Allen has very long purple hair. It has come to my attention that if you have purple hair, people often look at you, thus resulting in you becoming widely recognized and outstandingly popular figure in adolescent society. The sort of figure that everyone claims to know yet probably hasn't even spoken to. She has a lot of Instagram followers. Right now, Becky's talking to this other girl from our lot, Evelyn Foley. Evelyn is considered alternative because she has messy hair and wears cool necklaces. The real question, though, Evelyn says, is whether there's sexual tension between Harry and Malfoy. I'm not sure whether Becky genuinely likes Evelyn. Sometimes I think people only pretend to like each other. Only in fan fiction, Evelyn, Becky says. Please keep your fantasies between yourself and your search history. Evelyn laughs. I'm just saying, Malfoy helps Harry in the end, right? So why does he bully Harry for 7 years? He secretly likes him. With each word, she claps her hands together. It really doesn't emphasize her point. It's well established that people like the fact that people tease people they fancy. The psychology here is unarguable. Evelyn, Becky says, firstly, I resent the fangirl idea that Draco Malfoy is some kind of beautifully tortured soul who is searching for redemption and understanding. He's essentially a massive racist. Secondly, the idea that bullying means you fancy someone is basically the foundation of domestic abuse. Evelyn appears to be deeply offended. It's just a book. It's not real life. Becky sighs and turns to me, and so does Evelyn. I deduce that I am under pressure to contribute something. I think Harry Potter's a bit shit, to be honest, I say. Sort of wish we could all move on from it. Becky and Evelyn just look at me, and I get the impressions that I've ruined this conversation, so I mumble an excuse and lift myself off my chair and hurry out of the common room door. Sometimes I hate people. This is probably very bad for my mental health. There are two grammar schools in our hound. Harvey Green Grammar School for Girls, or Higgs as it's popularly known, and Troom Grammar School for Boys. Both schools, however, accept all genders in year 12 and 13, the two final years of school, known countrywide as the sixth form. So now that I'm in year 12, I have had to face a sudden influx of guys. Boys at Higgs are on par with mythical creatures, and having an actual real boyfriend puts you at the head of the social hierarchy. But personally, thinking or talking too much about boy issues makes me want to shoot myself in the face. Even if I did care about this stuff, it's not like we get to show off, thanks to our stunning school uniform. Usually sixth formers don't have to wear school uniforms. However, Higgs sixth form are forced to wear a hideous one. Gray is the theme, which is fitting for such a dull place. I arrive in my locker to find a pink post-it note on the door. On that, someone has drawn a left-pointing arrow, suggesting that I should perhaps look in that direction. Irritated, I turn my head to the left. There's another post-it note a few lockers along, and on the wall at the end of the corridor, another. People are walking past them, totally oblivious. I guess people aren't observant. That, or they just don't care. I can relate to that. I pluck the post-it from my locker and wander to the next. Sometimes I like to fill my days with little things that other people don't care about. It makes me feel like I'm doing something important, mainly because nobody else is doing it. This is one of those times. The post-its start popping up all over the place. The pre-ultimate post-it I find depicts an arrow pointing forwards and is situated on the door of a closed computer room on the first floor. Black fabric covers the door window. This particular computer room, C16, was closed last year for refurbishment, which doesn't look like anyone's bothered getting started. It sort of makes me feel sad to tell you the truth, but I open up C16's door anyways, enter and close it behind me. There's one long window stretching the length of the far wall, and the computer's in here are bricks, solid cubes. Apparently I've time traveled to the 1990s. Find the final post-it on the back wall, bearing the URL for something called Solitaire. Solitaire is a card game you play by yourself. It's what I used to spend my IT lessons doing, and it probably did a lot more for my intelligence than actually paying attention. It's then that someone opens the door. Dear God, the age of computers in here must be a criminal offense. I turn around slowly. A boy stands before the closed door. I can hear the haunting symphony of a dial-up connection, he says, eyes drifting, and after several long seconds, he finally notices that he's not the only person in the room. He's a very ordinary looking, not ugly, but not hot, miscellaneous boy. His most notable features are a pair of large, thick-framed glasses that sort of make him look like he's wearing 3D cinema glasses. He's tall on his side, parting in one hand, holds a mug, and in the other a piece of paper and his school planner. As he absorbs my face, his eyes flare up, and I swear to God they double in size. He leaps towards me like a pouncing lion, fiercely enough that I stumble backwards in fear that he might crush me completely. He leans forward so that his face is centimeters from my own. Through my reflection in his ridiculously sized spectacles, I notice that he has one blue eye and one green eye. Heterochromia. He grins violently. Victoria Spring! He cries, raising his arms into the air. I say and do nothing. I have a headache. You're Victoria Spring! He says. He holds the piece of paper up to my face. It's a photograph of me. Underneath tiny letters, Victoria Spring, 11A. It has been on display near the staff room. In year 11, I was a form leader, mostly because no one else wanted to do it, so I got volunteered. All the form leaders had their picture taken. Mine is awful. It was before I cut my hair, so I kind of look like the girl from The Ring. It's like I don't even have a face. I look into the blue eye. Did you tear that right off the display? He steps back a little, retreating from his invasion of my personal space. He's got this intense smile on his face. I said I'd help someone look for you, he says, tapping his chin with the planner. Blonde guy, skinny trousers, walking around like he didn't really know where he was. I do not know any guys, and certainly not a blonde guy who wears skinny trousers. I shrug. How did you know I was in here? He shrugs too. Didn't. Came in because of the arrow on the door. I thought it looked quite mysterious, and here you are. What a hilarious twist of fate. He takes a sip of his drink. I've seen you before, he says, still smiling. I found myself squinting at his face. Surely I must have seen him at some point in the corridors. Surely I remember those hideous glasses. I don't think I've ever seen you before. It's not surprising, he says. I'm in year 13, so you wouldn't see me much, and I only joined your school last September. I did my year 12 at Troom. That explains it. 4 months is long enough for me to commit a face to memory. So, he says, tapping his mug. What's going on here? I step aside and point unenthusiastically to the poster on the back wall. He reaches up and peels it off. Solitaire. Interesting. Okay. I say we could boot up one of these computers and check it out, but we'd probably both expire before the Internet Explorer loaded. I bet you any money they all use Windows 95. He sits down on one of the swivel chairs and stares out the window at the suburban landscape. Everything is lit up like it's on fire. You can see right over the town and into the countryside. He notices me looking too. It's like pulling you out, isn't it? He says. He sighs to himself. I saw this old man on my way this morning. He was sitting at a bus stop with headphones on, tapping his hands on his knees, looking at the sky. How often do you see that? An old man with headphones on? But I wonder what he was listening to. You think it would be classical, but it could have been anything. I wonder if it was sad music. He lifts up his feet and crosses them on top of the table. I hope it wasn't. Sad music is okay, I say, in moderation. He swivels around to me and straightens his tie. You are definitely Victoria Spring, aren't you? This should be a question. But he says it like he's already known for a long time. Tori, I say intentionally monotone. My name is Tori. He puts his hands in his blazer pockets. I fold my arms. Have you been in here before? He asks. No. He nods. Interesting. I widen my eyes and shake my head at him. What? What? What's interesting? I don't think I could sound less interested. We both came here looking for the same thing. And what's that? An answer. I raise my eyebrows. He gazes at me through his glasses. Aren't mysteries fun? He says. Don't you wonder? It's then that I realize I probably don't. I realize that I could walk out of here and literally not give a crap about Solitaire or this annoying loudmouth guy ever again. Because I want him to stop being so goddamn patronizing. I swiftly remove my phone from my blazer pocket and type the URL into the internet address bar and open up the webpage. What appears almost makes me laugh. It's an empty blog. A troll blog, I guess. What a pointless day this is. I thrust the phone into his face. Mystery solved, Sherlock. At first, he keeps on grinning like I'm joking, but soon his eyes focus downward onto the phone screen, and in a kind of stunned disbelief, he removes the phone from my hand. from my hand. It's an empty blog, he says, not to me but himself, and suddenly, I don't know how this happens, I feel deeply, deeply sorry for him, because he looks so bloody sad. He shakes his hand and he shakes his head and hands my phone back to me. I don't really know what to do. He literally looks like someone just died. Well, I shuffle my feet. I'm going to form now. No, wait! He jumps up so we're facing each other. There's a significantly awkward pause. He studies me squinting and studies the photograph, then back to me, then back to the photo. You cut your hair. I bite my lip, holding back the sarcasm. Yes, I say sincerely. Yes, I cut my hair. It was so long. Yes, it was. Why'd you cut it? I had gone shopping by myself at the end of the summer holidays because there was so much crap I needed for sixth form. My mom and dad were busy, and I just wanted it out of the way. What I failed to remember was that I am awful at shopping. My old school bag was ripped and dirty, so I trailed through nice places, Riverland and Zara and Urban Outfitters, and Mango and accessories. But all nice bags were like 50 pounds, so that wasn't happening. Then I tried the cheaper places, New Look and Primark and H&M, but I couldn't find one I liked. I ended up going around all the shops selling bags a billion bloody times before having a slight breakdown on the bench at Costa Coffee. In the middle of the shopping center, I thought about starting year 12 and all the things that I needed to do, all the new people that I might have to meet, and all the people I would have to talk to. And I caught my reflection of myself in the Waterstones window, and I realized that then that most of my face was covered up. And who in the name of God would want to talk to me like that? And I started to feel all of the hair on my forehead and cheeks not plastered my shoulders and back, and I felt it creeping around me like worms, choking me to death. I began to breathe very fast, so I went straight into the nearest hairdresser and I had it cut to my shoulders, not on my face. The hairdresser didn't want to do it, but I was very insistent. I spent my school bag money on a haircut. Just wanted it shorter, I say. He steps closer. I shuffle backwards. You, he says. You do not say anything you mean, do you? I laugh again. It's pathetic. It's a pathetic sort of expulsion of air, but for me, it qualifies as a laugh. Who are you? He freezes, leans back, opens out his arms, like as if he's the second coming of Christ, and announces it in a deep, echoing voice. My name is Michael Holden. Michael Holden. And who are you, Victoria Spring? I can't think of anything to say because that is what my answer would be, really. Nothing. I'm a vacuum. I'm a void. I am nothing. Mr. Kent's voice blared abruptly from the tannoy, and I turn around and look up at the speaker as his voice resonates down. All sixth formers should make their way to the common room for a short sixth form meeting. When I turn back around, the room is empty. I'm glued to the carpet. I open my hand and find that solitaire post-it inside. I still don't know what point the post-it made its way from Michael Holden's hand into mine, but there it is. And this is it. I suppose it is. This is how it probably starts.